Hello, I'm the Nomad 756 with Zero Access Games, here today with the return of Dark Souls 2 Solo LP. And today, we'll be going through the Sinner's Rise slash the Salt Fort slash fucking first Great Soul. Fuck, it's been a while since I've recorded, so, you know, if I'm a bit behind on some stuff, you know, but yes, I'm back today, returning, to, I remember. Last episode, there is one more area to do before we do the Lost Sinner. But to do it, it actually requires us moving through a majority of the lead up to the Lost Sinner in order to get a Ferrous Lockstone to, in order to unlock the area that we need to go to complete first to beat a boss. It's a convoluted thing. It's another reason why I really like Sinner's Rise. The Bastille area, because there's a lot of stuff, and one of the areas, you know, it's a good area. That's, you know, not much to be said. We are using the Great Sword and the Tower Shield now, which will allow us to be higher damage and a higher block. But we are significantly slower, we have less of a dodge, and that is going to make these guys a bit of a problem. Pop a life gem. Only because they fire their bows so quickly. And we're not getting backstabs for some reason. But a few advantages to the Greatsword, of course. We have the giant swing range. And we also have a really good overhead for more narrow stuff. And two-handed, this thing will do just a ton of damage. I think, with the level ups we've given it, this does 300 base damage plus 116 on our scaling with our dex and strength. A few things I've realized I've been doing wrong this playthrough is I've been pumping dex instead of int and attunement, which is going to be a lot more useful to us a bit later on. Which means I should have been pumping my int and attunement instead of dex. We're just going to light up our torch here, so we're going to light this. And use a little exploit to just speed things up a little bit here. Now we let that elevator go up. Fighting these guys standard isn't particularly difficult because you can backstab them. You know what? I've actually never gone through this area proper with the greatsword, so I should probably do that just to... Oh, okay. Of course, they do a lot of damage. That's the big thing. Pop a life gem. We pick this up, and Spine Bone Dust, which of course we can burn to make our Estus heal for more. I really like this area as well because it does the same thing that section in Hyde's Tower of Flame did. It takes away what is your greatest advantage against these guys, which is your maneuverability. Like, these guys aren't necessarily hard on their own because you can outmaneuver them fairly easily because, of course, they're very slow, they're very big. Not too much of a threat individually. But you take away your maneuverability, make it harder to do this, and then become much more of a tangible threat. Of course, with our greatsword doing as much damage as it is, they still aren't much of a threat. Come on, you big bitch. And, of course, we're using a great shield now, so we're obviously taking not only a lot less damage, but our stamina's being reduced at a lot slower rate. We should watch out for that guy. Oh, okay, we still took a hit, but better than what we would have if we hadn't dodged. Come on. We want to try and get behind this guy. A lot of his moves actually make it fairly easy to set up a back... Oh, fuck it, let's just go for the big swang and make it real easy to go for a backstab. But he does a lot of damage, obviously, and he has a lot of 360s that make it a bit more difficult. And grab... Large Soul of Nameless Soldier. This next area is a little bit difficult. There is a shortcut, but unfortunately you need to go through the area to unlock it. We're going to deal with these guys. Mainly it's difficult because there's a lot of these guys. The mummified prisoners, I think is what I call them. Yeah. They're not necessarily a huge threat on their own, But when they get into groups, which they do group, there is a lot in this section, they become much more of a problem. A much bigger issue, which is why this section is so difficult, because you go straight to open that gate, usually, and then you don't realize that in those doors down there, that there's about, I want to say, at least 5, probably way more than that are just ready to just destroy you. And of course, it's locked, unfortunately. So what we have to do is we'll have to take this one room at a time, is the best way to do it. But it's also, it's not necessarily easy. It's easier with the tower shield, but still difficult, because these guys will still take all your stamina with their their explosion attack. They'll take all your stamina regardless. Well, at least as far as I know, unless you have like ridiculous high stamina and stability, which you know, will be difficult to get. But an advantage of the greatsword is, Jesus Christ. Okay, and that's another challenge. They're hidden in the water, so yeah, this area can be a bitch sometimes. I think, and there's 2 more rooms to clear out. We'll make sure we're at full health here by popping 2, just to be safe. Just swing. There's no shame in just swinging wildly with these guys, because they are a huge threat. Yeah, there it is. That's the item we need to get to. I think there was only 3? Huh. I thought there was way more than that. Well, 4, I guess. So there was only 4 of them. And of course, open up this way to the boss. The first Great Soul. But we're not going to go here just yet, because there's a door up there that can only be unlocked by completing a previous optional area that will also get us a ring and some more souls that are useful, and it's basically another optional boss fight. So yes, we'll be continuing on to there. We gotta, unfortunately, because if I had used the exploit, this would have made more sense. Basically, you can lead those big guys with the tails down here and get them to bait out their moves to fall in here and kill them without too much trouble. But I've actually never had my greatsword this early on, I don't think. So I've never really done it. Something I really like about the greatsword, it looks worn down as hell. Like, it was really you can probably see it more now. It is worn down to all hell. Like, it isn't a sword so much as a slab of metal that is just sort of tapers to a point. And I kind of love that about it. It's, I never really was a big fan of the large swords that, like, I guess, like, characters like Cloud and that would carry about and swing like they were just normal swords. But I think I've already said this, but it bears repeating. But when a big sword is treated as a big sword, I really like it. Like, it's way more enjoyable to me. And now we'll just travel, I believe, to servants' quarters. Yeah, we gotta go to the servants' quarters. And that'll get us to our new area. Castus or a fist weapon, we're not going to be using those. I've seen people do fist-only runs and just been, like, blown away. We can't summon. We cannot summon for this next thing until we're in the area, which is, I think, is kind of interesting. You can't go to this area with a summon. You have to summon within the area, because it technically counts as its own area, even though it's very small and only has one boss fight, and, you know, there's not much really to it. There is another Pharos Lockstone in the Lost Bastille, but it isn't as useful as this one. Now we bust through, and we're in Belfry Luna. This is a PvP area, so there is a chance we will get invaded. Undead! And these are... whoa. I've never actually looked at his face. Yes, so these are the Bell Guardians. This is a covenant that, basically allows you to be in here in PvP with a bunch of people, and get Titanite chunks. If you go in and you invade a player and you win, you get Titanite chunks. I'm not trying to seek out PvP or do Covenant stuff, so I'm not really going to worry about it. But yeah, that's basically the purpose. But aside from that, you'll also find these guys. These guys are bastards, because I believe they do darkness damage through your shield. and they also just do a ton of damage. And they're pretty resilient, obviously, because it takes 3 strikes with this big-ass sword. One-handed, anyway. I'm not confident enough with it. Here we go. We've already been invaded. I knew it had happened. How you doing, buddy? Oh, no. We got backstabbed. Oh, I'm garbage at PvP. Oh, we gotta get out of here. Okay, where's Oestus? Where's Oestus? What the hell? Okay, lag. That was bullshit. Are you gonna bow? It's tradition to bow. And doesn't bow. Just, nah. I'm probably gonna get a message saying, fuck you. But who cares? Or doing a victory dance, I don't know. Yeah, that's why I'm not seeking out PvP, because I suck. And my connection's probably not the best being down here in, the good old prison colony, Australia. My connection isn't exactly the best, so I probably will have some lag shenanigans within it. But yeah, that was unfortunate. But it will reduce our chances of being invaded since we're no longer human. And the First Lockstone Way is always open, and it's actually not that much of a trip. It's just, there's an area we have to, one more part of the area that we have to go to progress a little further that makes this a bit more difficult. If only for the amount of enemies that are in that area. There's like 5 of the dark dudes, and they have high damage bows that create an issue. Come on. Swing. Yeah, see, they do dark damage through shields. Oh, no. Oh, we gotta be careful. See, this is why I'm not too confident two-hand. Whoa. Despite it doing, like, significantly more damage, it forces you to basically cut your guard. I think I do 30% less... I have 30% less physical resistance, so I do 70 physical resistance as opposed to 100 with the greatsword, which is still fairly good, like, for a weapon, but it's not worth the trade-off, the damage trade-off. Not just yet, anyway. Not until the scaling's been pumped up a bit, or a bit more... or a bit stronger, really. Right now, the one-handed damage is doing us well. Two-handing damage thing is really more worth it in New Game Plus, really. When you need to do tons of damage to a boss because they have, like, double their health. That's the easy part of the area. Now comes the hard part, which is up here. And yet, now there are about 5 of these guys, I want to say. And some of them are just carrying very high damage bows that make this area like a way bigger threat than pretty much any other part of the... Really, any other part... This is like the hardest section of Lost Bastille, I want to say. Even though it's technically not the Lost Bastille. It's definitely one of the hardest sections because it's a very group up section. Even the boss is designed to group up. But we want to grab a few things quick before we ring the bell. And ringing the bell, of course, unlocks the boss arena. I see Skeptic Spice. It appears they're not firing their bows, which is simultaneously good and weird. Got him. And I think that's all. Yeah, those are those items. Now we just need to open up this chest. What do we get? Anything good? We got Twilight Herd and Radiant Life Gem. Cool. That's not bad. Now, where's the lever? Where's the lever? There it is. Now we ring the bell. Come on. Ring-a-dang-a-lang. You son of a bitch. We head down this... Oh, crap. Fucking hell, it's hard to talk and play. And we head down this ladder. Yep. And... look what opened up. Now, if we're smart, we're gonna pop one of these and hope to hell there's a fucking summon sign about. It appears there isn't. So, massive miscalculation on my part. We could go check back at the beginning, but that will increase our risk of being invaded again, especially considering we're human. So we're just going to head in, do the boss fight, and hope for the best. I've never done it with the Tower Shield and the Grey Shield, so, you know, this is new for me. I've also done it, I think, once without a summon, because this is an especially difficult fight, because the enemies on their own aren't particularly challenging, but there are multiple of them. You have to... again, it's another boss fight I'm not a huge fan of. I don't necessarily hate this boss fight, but I'm not... I certainly wouldn't call it amongst my favorites. I have to turn down my headphones here. I don't know if there's feedback coming in. Oh, fuck. 85 damage too. It's just... It's minions as a boss fight. It's several mini bosses opposed to an actual boss fight, which I'm not a massive fan of. Okay, you're gonna land. Okay, we've almost got one down. So yeah, they have a collective health bar, which you'll notice isn't going down fast enough for it to just be these two. There are more that are going to spawn in as we Oh, okay. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. We might want to bring in a summon for this one. Might be worth going human and bringing in a summon for this one, because these gargoyles are tough. The Belfry gargoyles. But this will get us 2 very good items, I do believe. Or at least one. One very good item. That I can think of that will come in handy to us before the boss fight. There is at least one. There might be more. So we'll just pop a human effigy. We've actually saved up a fair amount. Pop a life gem. Make sure we're at full health. And head down the ladder. Whoa. I've also never fought them with a very high weight. I should also make clear. So I'm not used to not being able to dodge in this fight. Oh, I forgot about this chest. Almost. What's in here? I can't remember if it's something good or not. It's a chime, which isn't to use for our purposes because we're not doing a faith thing. But, you know, if you're a faith user, I'm sure it's fine. There's a particular chime I use that I'll go into more once I get it. That's a better that I feel is one of the better faith weapons. You little shit. I'ma fudge you up. Oh, there is a ring down there. We won't be grabbing it just yet because I just want to sort of do the boss and do the hard part first, because if I do this quick enough, I will just be able to get straight to I'm hoping to get straight to the Lost Sinner in this episode, because the walk up to the Lost Sinner isn't necessarily very long. So I'm hoping to get to the Lost Sinner fairly quickly. I think I might switch out my armor a bit. Well, fuck it. Let's go. Let's just go. He can't get us if we're in, so we just have to go. First priority should always be grabbing your souls, especially in one with this. Yeah, I bet he's pissed. And now we've already done fairly decent damage to this guy. I think when one of them gets down to half health, that's when the next one spawns in. So you have to like really be aggressive, and even then you're going to get hit by at least one that you didn't remember. Like you won't remember every single one. Oh, that's all right. That's not bad. Okay. Oh no. Oh shield. Oh. Okay, we gotta drink this like now. Okay. Come on. We can do this. If we can keep them all on screen, that's definitely easier. Plus, our big sweeps allow, if we can make keeping them on screen a very good option, because we can, of course, hit more than one at once. Okay, this is the weakest one. So we always focus on the weakest one, because you want to prevent you want to even your odds as much as you can, and the best way to do that, of course, is to eliminate as many as you can, as fast as you can. I don't think any more spawn in. I could be wrong on that. Now we only have to fight one. Oh no, there's one more that'll spawn in, and there he is. He's spawned. Oh, that's their most annoying move. They just straight up fly overhead and then get behind you and do a butt ton of damage. Oh, that was close. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of this boss fight, to say the least. It's a bit hard to commentate over this one, especially because it requires so much concentration. You have to but I think this is it, actually. After we beat these two, oh, Jesus. We're done, so, yeah. Come on. Do your moves, and they... Oh, that's actually advantageous. One more swing! Okay, yeah, one more to go. One more to go. Okay, we're doing well. Doing well. He's gonna play keep away. But we get time to Estus, just to be safe. Because we don't want to end up getting clipped by something at the last minute. That's just embarrassing. More embarrassing than my performance in that PvP. But yes, victory achieved, once again. And we got 30,000 souls and the Belfry Gargoyle soul. Another soul, a boss soul that you can just I'm going to redeem, of course. I would never suggest redeeming boss souls for souls, pardon me, on your first playthrough ever. I would always suggest, oh, that's a Southern Ritual Band. That's a good ring for spell users. It might come in handy to us. I'm trying to remember what the ring does. Allows attunement of additional spells. That is going to come in handy. That allows us to basically have more spells to cast. Yeah, if we end up being able to sacrifice the ring slot, which we eventually will, once we sort of level up enough. We're just going to rest this bonfire to restore our Estus. And we're going to head down here to get a very special invasion. And hopefully, get a key and not lose all our souls that will allow us to make the Lost Sinner boss fight a little easier. Not excessively easy by, oh shit, okay, we might. Oh god, oh shit, that was close. Okay, so Volgan the Sinner is actually a kind of a tough fight. More so by the dogs. It's fine. We'll have to do something. Volgan the Sinner is a tough fight because there's a lot of dogs. Kind of reminiscent of a special boss fight from Dark 1. Oh, sorry, just getting a bit close to the mic here. Dark 1, where you have to fight a Capra demon, which is a boss. The first, it's like the third or fourth. It's a boss. You have to fight the Capra demon in a small area with 2 dogs, and it's really tough. So this is kind of a redo of that. That's more annoying. Now, if we're smart, if we can, we'll try and find a way to do this without even going down there. Where's our bow? Where's our bow? Do we have any? Do we just have the short bow? Or did we get a better one? No, we just have the short bow. Okay, so we get our short bow out. We try and lock on, and we hope that this hits, because sometimes you can only go so low. It makes it hard. Damn. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way then. Which is a problem. Actually, we won't have to fight Volgan because we're not human, I don't think, or Vogel, or whatever his name was. So we get down. Keep your shield up. And then... Okay, Vogel still attacks us. We better fucking Estus right now, if we're gonna survive this. Unfortunately, fortunately I should say, they're not actually tough fights, the NPC invasions. They're just, if you get hit, you're going to get hit hard. But luckily, we have a very high damage weapon. And there we go. We did it. Yay, we beat Volgan. And Vogel. Jesus. Volgan is the bad guy from MGS3. Then we get 50,000 souls back, and... Bastille Key. That's what we wanted. That's the item that helps us immensely. First we go up here, and we deal with you, Mr. Doggy, puppy, dead, dick. I hate them. I hate dogs in Dark Souls. We get the Enchanted Falchion, which is an weapon. I think enchantment makes the magic, the enchanted enhancement path makes magic scale with strength. Makes your magic damage. It makes your magic damage scale with your strength as opposed to your intelligence. Which I don't know what it's meant to do. But for now, we'll head back to Majula and pump some of our stats before we head on to the first of the Great Soul boss fights, which we'll be doing this episode. Probably this episode might be a bit longer. I think I've said it before. I don't time these episodes. I just kind of go in and play the game. Simba. But once we're done with the Lost Sinner, we're actually done with Lost Bastille. So So I did say it before. I have made a mistake in that I invested, I think, a bit too much into my decks. We're going to be keeping it like that because 20 is actually a good place to stop for our purposes right now. But I am going to be reevaluating some of my investments after I max out my strength, which is what we're focusing on mainly because Belfry Luna also because and success and stuff. Not much, but it'll help us. It's probably a level. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll be focusing on strength mainly for now, strength and vit, and then we'll pump intelligence and attunement until we're at the soft cap for int, and then we'll might move back onto Dex. Dex might take a side note to something else. I might even go for a faith and int just for the heal and such. We'll see. For now, we'll level up. I think I have a shard. I wasn't paying attention. And I think we've just hit the soft cap on that. Yeah, we have, because we're only getting 1 point enhanced, so it's probably not worth pumping it just yet. So we'll just see how much we can get our strength up. We can get up to 7, so we'll take that up to 5, pump this by 1, and do a bit to our int. No, it'd probably be worth... No, yeah, I think we're good there. We'll get the health stats to a straight 15. So we're closing in on our strength final approach, which is good. Which is good for our purposes. What else do I have to do? Do I have an Estus Flush Shard? No, I do not. Okay. So I have to burn the Swine Bone Dust. Let me just... Yeah! Some force has strengthened the Estus Flask. So now I have a +2 Estus Flask. Which means it'll heal for more. And I think we're pretty much done here. Nothing I really have to do. So back to Sinner's Rise. Back to the Salt Fort. Where we will finish up the first of the Great Souls. Whoops, just bumped the mic there. So we're just gonna not fight them, because they're not worth the trouble, and you can get past them fairly quickly. We are going to be popping a Humanity, though, which I should have done back in Majula, but whatever. Because there is a summon that I want to take into the fight that will, what will it do? It will, allow us to advance Lucatiel's quest line. And I fucking love that backstab. Just the rough, like, just heavy swing. I love it. I love just big, heavy swing. And of course, these guys are still doing a butt ton of damage to us. Fuck. You want to get around? Yeah, you want to get these guys to draw their swords, because they're not worth fighting as bow dudes. And you can poise break them fairly easily, so try and get them together. And then, yeah, just wail on them. Pop a life gem. And we'll pick up an item. What do we get? Life gem. Fantastic. Step on this. Restore our health to full. Come on, please. Oh no. It was just enough. I think I got a lacerating knife from on that platform. Yeah, those aren't real useful. I'm not a huge bleed user, so yeah. Now, first off, just to be 100% sure our summon isn't going to die on the way there, we're going to, clear out the, advance up, because you do not want your summon to die on the way there. Especially since, in order to progress the quest line of the NPC you happen to be summoning, you have to have them survive. They cannot die in the fight at all. They can't die at all. You have to summon them, they have to live. Which is hard to do when there's so many enemies and pitfalls and bullshit on the way. A Bellkeeper bow. Interesting. These guys must have been Bellkeepers and then fucked about. I don't know. You can peruse what you want. That's the good thing about Dark Souls. You can make up what you want. All these guys, I don't know, hurt Bellkeepers, didn't like them particularly. You never know. I think they're called disfigured trolls, these guys, and they're meant to be experiments by, King Vendrick's brother, Aldia, who we'll get more into a bit later, when he becomes a bit more relevant. Jesus Christ. I think that +5 damage is... that +5 strength is actually turning up our scaling pretty fucking far. But the main reason we wanted to get that key... Fuck you, mummified prisoner. So we can go up here. Fucking hear one of them. Go up here. Kill this guy. And we can open up this. But the main reason we want to do it at all. So, and this is the bane of the summoner's existence. If you summon Lucatiel, she could totally just fall off the sides here. So, you know, you want to be careful heading around there. Lucatiel has a problem with falling. Like in No Man's Wharf, she can end up attacking those, Varangian? Oh, I don't know, I don't remember. Those, dudes who, stay at the wharf and sort of clutch on under it, and then have to get up in order to attack you. She can end up attacking those and just throwing herself off. What we're basically doing right now, though, which, to get back on point, is we are lighting, these oil tracks in order to light 2 large torches in the Lost Sinners arena, which allows us to lock onto her from pretty much the entire arena away, which is something you can't do if you do not light these, because it is very dark in the, her arena. But, that's a problem. And that's mainly a problem because, she's very, the Lost Sinner, who I call a she, it could be a he, I don't know, it's never really said either way. I just call her the Lost Sinner, I don't know, Sexton, what do you want from me? Oh, I want to. That's something really cool that I'll talk about in a second. What was I saying? Yeah, the Lost Sinner is very fast and very aggressive, and not being able to lock onto it, I guess, is actually like a huge detriment to you. Like it's the worst thing you could be doing, because the Lost Sinner can pretty much get across the entire arena very rapidly, like quick as all hell. Lucatiel, brethren, what's going on? Like your sword, like your shield, like everything about you. Come on, I've changed a bit since last we met. Oh, I fucking love this character. Like, you know, this is the character I always take through at this point. Like, I've never been this character this early on, but damn if I don't love this character. Just the big sword and the big shield, and I used to hate that stuff. I used to be like, oh, katanas and no shields and two-handed, and then I was like, wait, Dark Souls has changed my mind. Fucking giant swords and realistic stuff and big shields are awesome. Oh, God. Play Dark Souls if you want to get into that stuff. It's fucking great. And we enter the mist. And we get a cutscene. Oh, naturally. This is our first Great Souls, so our first progression boss. It's got a beard, so it's probably a he. Something's really cool. That bug is assumed to be the actual Lost Sinner. And that bug is assumed to be controlling the body of the Lost Sinner, which I think is really cool. And see, that's what the Lost Sinner does. It puts out the torches in the room, which would have made it dark as hell, but we were smart enough to light those 2 sconces in the sides of the room. Now, Lucatiel, start wailing, grab aggro. That's Lucatiel. Again, NPC summons. Your job is aggro. And see, the Sinner can move. The Sinner is hyper-aggressive, and can get away from your attacks fairly easily. Well, fucking Lucatiel does a lot of damage. Not nearly as much as I'd be doing. No, not nearly as much as I'd be doing, but still quite a bit. And that's the Great Sword, basically. I just did 419 damage on a boss, and did like a really significant amount, took a significant chunk off the health bar. I did about, I don't want to say 50% of the damage right there. That was about 30% of the entire life bar just from that one two-handed combo. And that's the Great Sword's strength. I think I actually got a faster, oh no, I'm still fat rolling. It's just so high damage. It makes up for its lack of speed, or it's not particularly amazing moveset with just pure damage. And I fucking love it. Big swang. Look, see, we've almost killed the Lost Sinner. We're having an easier time with her than the Belfry Gargoyles. And we did it. We beat the first Great Soul. Oh, Great Soul embrace. Let's just fucking embrace that Great Soul. Fucking, come to me, Great Soul. I shall embrace thee. But But no, we just beat our first Great Soul. So we are 1/4 through the very first section of the game. Open up this door and get to the Primal Bonfire, and we'll call it there. I think there's an item here. Yes, there is. What is it? Oh, what'd I get? Is it good? Is it pretty? Did I get a pretty thing? Fragrant Branch of Yore and Elizabeth Mushroom. Those are useful. But for now, I'll end this video here. I was the Nomad756 for Zero Access Games. This was Dark Souls 2 Solo LP. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.